I'm Chad Kaydo from BizBash. We're here at the offices of Colin Cowie, one of the most high-profile people in the event business, and the man behind events for the likes of Oprah Winfrey, Mattel, and InStyle magazine. We're going to talk to Colin today about his career, those clients, and his latest venture, ColinCowieWeddings.com, which is scheduled to launch later this fall. So, tell us about ColinCowieWeddings.com.
ColinCowieWeddings.com is the most exciting thing that I've worked on in 49 years. I have created an online platform that will really revolutionize the way we look and plan weddings. And what really differentiates us from other sites is that where everyone's trying to be everything to every bride, I'm bringing the bride curated and edited trend and style based upon her personality type. And so in a very crowded arena, it gives me the opportunity to really go out there and make a big difference for her.
How will the site be different from other wedding magazines or wedding websites?
Our approach is very unique. You know, where all these other sites are wanting to be everything to everyone, you're looking at the front pages and there's just a tremendous amount of information there. You know, I'm taking a much more edited and curated approach to delivering her great trend and great style, and saying there's all this information out there, you don't have to have everything put in front of you, and bringing it to in a very seamless, easy way so she's able to plan a wedding with confidence and with style.
How has all of your experience with the weddings you've done influenced the decisions for this site?
Wholeheartedly. You know, think about it at the end of the day, you know, this is the most important day in a person's life. You know, how can we make it the best it possibly can be? So every time I've ever done a party, no matter how big or how small, a wedding, we all sit down after and figure, how can we make it better? How can we make the bride's experience a better experience? How can we make our vendors succeed? So by being a hands-on wedding planner, I think it's really allowed me to put the right information in front of the bride. I'm not a magazine.com. I'm not a dressstore.com. You know, I'm not part of a craftstore.com. You know, this is ColinCowieWeddings.com. We are in the business of planning and designing real weddings.
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest difference between a wedding for a famous couple and a marketing-driven event?
Well, a wedding for a famous couple comes with a lot of things. They're very needy. The more famous they are, the less they want to pay. Their time is difficult. You're dealing with a lot of family factors. You're dealing with agents. You're dealing with managers. There are a lot of different needs that need to be taken care of. The corporate business, it's all about return on investment. You know, why am I going to spend so many $1 million on this big corporate event? And what is the return on investment for them? So, I mean, one's economic and the other one's emotional.
In what ways are those two types of events similar?
They're very similar. You know, the same elements of production. You never want to keep anybody waiting. So the cocktail hour is the same amount of time. You know, you want to deliver great service and great quality with everything. So they're basically, you know, the elements of a good party are common to both of them. It's about great food, great cocktails, great timing, and bringing people together all in the right environment. One of the most important things for me at any event is timing. I think we're all so jaded. We've all been to so many things today. Everything today is 20 minutes too long. You know, so I have a pact with any client that I work with. You know, I like to do cocktails in 45 minutes max. Because by the time I move them into the dinner or the reception, it's already an hour. And I like to do things that before you look at your watch, the next activity is taking place. That way you get to be able to move people through the situation with a carefully thought of beginning, middle, and end. And it's got great production value to there's no lag time. You keep your guest engaged.
You're one of the most high-profile people in the event business, obviously. How does that influence what clients expect when they come to you?
A couple of things. They think I'm too expensive, so they can't afford me, so I don't get the call in the first place. Or they're in a company looking for perfect. I always say, I can't do perfect, but I promise I'll deliver you my very best. I think Oprah Winfrey, in telling the world that I was the most expensive party planner ever, kind of got the message out there. Maybe for her, but not for everybody else.
Yeah, it's a mixed blessing.
Exactly. It's a mixed blessing. And when you see what we all went through in the economic crisis, it became an even playing field for everybody. You know, everybody needed the same jobs, and just think about it, like 80% of what was out there just disappeared overnight because it wasn't appropriate to be throwing big lavish parties. I can understand that.
Yeah. On that note, where are we in that up and down?
You know, I think that we have come back. I think one of the most important things today, when we look at how the industry has changed, you know, at the height of the market, you know, we were saying no to projects because there were so many jobs out there. Then all of a sudden, 80% of the jobs went away. And I think what that did was it flushed all the fat out of the system. It made an even playing field for everyone. So instead of the customer picking up the phone and calling and saying, I want to do my husband's 50th birthday, she now calls 3 people and puts us all against one another to see who's going to give her the best deal. The customers become very savvy, and it's all about the customer. So I think where we will bring great value back into the market again is by delivering customer service. A well thought out customer service program that's really proactive with great attention to detail is what's going to differentiate one vendor over another vendor, or get the client to make one decision over another.
So what have you learned from some of these high profile clients?
When you think about it, high profile clients have a tremendous amount of resources at their fingertips. So I'm not the first party planner that they've worked with, or event designer, and they've worked all over the world. So every time I get to work with someone, I learn a couple new tricks of the trade that goes into my database. I've also learned how to deal with people who are very, very needy. Also people who you don't ever want to start a conversation with, I'm sorry. So when it comes to things like money, I run a very transparent business, because you are encouraging your clients to spend amounts of money that they're not used to spending. So if you can make sure that they feel confident and secure and they know where every cent is spent, I find they're much more free with the cash.
Thanks for watching. You can find another video of Colin talking about his favorite recent events at BizBash.com. You can also see him speak at the BizBash Expo in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center on October 19th.